You probably think you're doing everything right for your bones. You're drinking milk, eating yogurt, and focusing on calcium. But what if some of the healthy foods you're eating are actually making your skeleton weaker? In this video, we're going to expose the surprising foods that could be sabotaging your bone health after 60 and show you exactly what to eat instead for renewed strength and resilience. Once we get past 60, it's just a fact of life that our bones naturally start to lose some of their density. It's a quiet process. You don't feel it day to day, but it can lead to a future none of us want. One with a higher risk of fractures, a loss of mobility, and a threat to our independence. Osteoporosis is a real concern for millions of people, making bones dangerously fragile. But here's the good news. While you can't stop the clock, you are not a helpless bystander. The choices you make in your kitchen every single day are one of the most powerful tools you have to fight back. Your diet can either speed up bone loss, or it can be the foundation for a strong, resilient skeleton that will carry you confidently through the years ahead. If you're finding this information valuable and you're ready to take charge of your bone health, take a second to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. We're committed to bringing you practical, science-backed advice to help you live your strongest, healthiest life. Your support helps us make more content just like this. Now let's get back to it. Today, we're cutting through the confusion and going way beyond the just drink more milk advice. We'll pinpoint the hidden culprits in your diet that might be undermining your best efforts. We'll look at the not-that foods, the sneaky saboteurs that can leach minerals right out of your bones. And then, for each one, we'll reveal the eat this alternative. These are the nutritional heroes packed with the exact building blocks your bones are crying out for. This isn't about restriction, it's about making smart swaps. It's about being empowered with knowledge to build a body that feels not just good, but unbreakable. Let's get started. First up on our list is an enemy of bone health that's hiding in plain sight: excess salt. Let's talk about the convenience foods that are staples in so many of our lives. I'm talking about canned soups, frozen dinners, deli meats, salty snacks, and even a lot of breads and cereals. They might save you time, but they are often packed with an incredible amount of sodium. Most people consume way more than the recommended 2,300 milligrams a day, and these processed foods are the main reason why. So how does this hurt your bones? Well, when your body has to get rid of all that extra sodium through your urine, it takes calcium with it. Think of it as a forced evacuation. Every time you eat a high-salt meal, you're literally flushing precious bone-building calcium out of your system. This directly drains the calcium your skeleton needs to stay dense and strong. Over time, this constant drain can be a major contributor to thin bones and osteoporosis. It's a slow, silent weakening of your body's framework, driven by the salt shaker and the processed food industry. Some studies even suggest you can lose about 40 milligrams of calcium for every 1,300 milligrams of sodium you eat. That might not sound like much, but it really adds up day after day, year after year. So that seemingly healthy canned soup or that turkey sandwich with deli meat could be working directly against your goal of having strong bones. Your best defense is to read the nutrition label. If a single serving has 20% or more of the daily value for sodium, you can consider it a high-sodium food. The solution is powerful and pretty simple. Take back control of your own cooking. When you prepare meals from scratch with whole, fresh ingredients, you decide exactly how much salt goes in. Instead of reaching for salt to add flavor, it's time to explore the amazing world of herbs and spices. Think about roasting a chicken, not just with salt, but with fragrant rosemary, thyme, and garlic powder. Imagine a salad dressing made from olive oil, lemon juice, and a mix of oregano and basil instead of a salty bottled version. Sautéing your veggies with a pinch of red pepper flakes, cumin, or turmeric adds so much flavor that you won't even miss the extra salt. Making this change does more than just protect your calcium. Many herbs and spices are loaded with their own health perks, like anti-inflammatory compounds that give your whole body a boost. This isn't about eating boring food. It's about rediscovering real flavor, the flavor that comes from fresh ingredients. It's a fun adventure for your taste buds that pays off with stronger, more resilient bones. Next, we need to have a serious talk about sugar, and not just the spoonful in your coffee, but all the hidden sugars that have snuck into almost everything we eat. Most of us are eating a shocking amount of added sugar without even knowing it. We're talking about sodas, sweetened iced teas, many fruit juices, and that endless display of cookies, cakes, and pastries made with white flour. These foods are nutrient displacers. They fill you up with empty calories, but offer none of the vitamins and minerals your bones desperately need. When you fill up on these, there's simply less room for the good stuff. But the damage is deeper than that. Too much sugar sets off a chain reaction of problems in the body. First, just like salt, it can cause you to lose critical bone-building minerals like calcium and magnesium through your urine. Second, a high-sugar diet fuels chronic inflammation. This constant inflammatory state gets in the way of your body's natural bone remodeling process, where old bone is cleared out and new bone is built. And there's more. High sugar intake can lead to insulin resistance, which is a stepping stone to type 2 diabetes. New research is showing a clear link between insulin resistance and weaker bones. Studies have directly connected sugary drinks to lower bone mineral density and a higher risk of fractures. The phosphoric acid found in colas is another big problem, as it can mess with your body's calcium balance and block its absorption in your gut. This happens even with diet and caffeine-free colas, which points to phosphoric acid as a major issue. The way to fight back against sugar is to embrace nature's sweeteners and nutrient-packed carbs. Your plate should look like a rainbow of colorful fruits and vegetables. Aim for at least 5 servings a day. Dark leafy greens like kale, collards, and broccoli are low in sugar and packed with calcium, magnesium, and vitamin K, all of which are bone health superstars. Fruits like oranges and strawberries are full of vitamin C, which your body needs to make collagen, the protein mesh that acts as the scaffolding for your bones. And we can't forget about the unsung hero of the fruit world for bone health, prunes. A growing body of research has shown that eating just a small handful of prunes every day, around 4 to 6, can significantly help prevent and delay bone loss in postmenopausal women. It's believed that the unique mix of minerals, vitamin K, and antioxidants in prunes helps reduce the inflammation and stress that leads to bone breakdown. Studies have shown that daily prune consumption can help preserve bone mineral density at critical sites like the hip. When it comes to carbs, just make a simple swap. Ditch the white bread, white rice, and sugary cereals for their whole grain versions. Quinoa, brown rice, oats, and whole wheat bread give you steady energy along with fiber, magnesium, and other nutrients that refined carbs just don't have. For years, there's been a lot of confusion around protein and bone health. Let's clear up the myths and focus on what really works. There's an old myth that just won't die, that eating a lot of protein, especially from animal sources, leaches calcium from your bones. While an extremely high protein diet combined with low calcium intake isn't a great idea, the much bigger problem for adults over 60 is actually getting too little protein. The reality is, many older adults just don't eat enough, and that can be devastating for your bones. Think of your bones like a brick building. Calcium and other minerals are the bricks that make it hard, but the mortar holding those bricks together is a protein matrix made mostly of collagen. If you don't get enough protein in your diet, your body can't build or maintain that crucial mortar. This leads to weaker, more brittle bones that are more likely to fracture, no matter how much calcium you're getting. Modern research is very clear on this. A higher protein intake, as long as you're also getting enough calcium, is linked to higher bone mineral density, slower bone loss, and a lower risk of hip fractures. In fact, experts now recommend that older adults should aim for more protein than the standard recommendation, at least 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight each day. Not getting enough protein also leads to muscle loss, which increases your risk of falling, and falls are what lead to fractures in the first place. The key is to follow a smart protein strategy, focusing on high-quality sources throughout the day. You want to give your body a steady supply of the amino acids it needs to repair both muscle and bone. Excellent sources of lean animal protein include skinless chicken and turkey, and especially fish. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines give you a fantastic 1-2 punch. High-quality protein plus bone-boosting vitamin D and omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3s help fight inflammation, which we've already learned is crucial for healthy bones. Canned salmon and sardines, when you eat them with their soft, edible bones, are also amazing sources of calcium that your body can easily absorb. Don't forget about eggs and low-fat dairy. Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and milk are fantastic because they're rich in both protein and calcium, the perfect combo for your bones. It's also really important to bring in a variety of plant-based proteins. Lentils, chickpeas, and black beans are loaded with protein, magnesium, and fiber. Soy products like tofu, tempeh, and edamame are also great choices. And nuts and seeds like almonds and chia seeds deliver protein, healthy fats, and magnesium. By building a diverse portfolio of both lean animal and powerful plant-based proteins, you're giving your body everything it needs to maintain that strong, unbreakable bone framework. This next topic can be a little confusing. You may have heard about anti-nutrients in super healthy foods like spinach and beans, and worried that they were bad for your bones. Let's separate the facts from the fiction. Certain plant foods contain compounds called oxalates and phytates, which can bind to minerals and make them harder for your body to absorb. Spinach, rhubarb, and beet greens are high in oxalates. Beans, seeds, nuts, and whole grains are high in phytates. The worry is that these compounds can grab onto calcium in your meal and prevent you from absorbing it. For instance, even though spinach has calcium in it, its high oxalate content means you can only absorb a tiny amount, maybe as little as 5%. But this is where people get it wrong. The takeaway is not to avoid these incredibly healthy foods. The problem only happens if your diet is very limited and you don't know how to prepare these foods. If you were only eating raw spinach salads to get your calcium, you definitely have a problem. The term anti-nutrient is also a bit misleading, because these compounds actually have health benefits too, like antioxidant effects. The issue isn't the food itself. It's all about context and preparation. The solution here is all about two things: preparation and variety. First, simple cooking methods can slash the levels of these compounds. For high oxalate greens like spinach, just cook them. Boiling or steaming spinach can reduce the oxalates by a huge amount, anywhere from 30% to 90%, because the oxalates leak out into the water, which you just pour out. So enjoying your spinach cooked instead of always raw is an easy fix. For foods high in phytates like beans and legumes, the old-school wisdom of soaking them is spot on. Soaking beans in water overnight before you cook them can seriously reduce their phytic acid. Second, and most importantly, practice variety and smart pairing. Don't rely on spinach as your main source of calcium. Instead, enjoy it for all its other amazing nutrients, like vitamin K and iron, and get your big dose of calcium from other foods. A great trick is to pair these foods with something rich in calcium. For example, adding cheese to your cooked spinach is helpful. The key is just making sure there is enough total calcium in the meal. By understanding how these compounds work, you can keep enjoying all the health benefits of these amazing plant foods without any of the worry. It's about being a smart eater, not a restrictive one. All right, let's do a quick recap of the key swaps we talked about today for building unbreakable bones after 60. We've moved past the myths and into the simple science of strategic eating. Remember, it's not just about what you add to your diet, but also what you decide to leave on the grocery store shelf. First, we're swapping the high-salt processed foods for flavorful home-cooked meals seasoned with herbs and spices. Second, we're ditching the sugary drinks and snacks and embracing the power of nutrient-dense fruits, vegetables, especially prunes, and complex carbs. Third, we cleared up the protein paradox. The real enemy is getting too little protein. We're swapping it for a smart, diverse intake of lean animal and plant-based proteins to build the very foundation of our bones. And finally, we demystified anti-nutrients. We're not going to worry about them. Instead, we're going to eat a varied diet where we properly prepare foods like spinach and beans by cooking or soaking them. Building and maintaining strong bones isn't something that just happens. It's an active, daily practice. The goal isn't to be perfect overnight, but to make steady progress. Every time you choose a glass of water over a soda, a handful of almonds over salty chips, or a home-cooked meal over a frozen dinner, you are casting a vote for a stronger, more resilient you. You are taking back control and fueling your body to carry you forward with strength and confidence. If you found this guide helpful, please share it with a friend or family member who could also use this information. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What was your biggest takeaway from today's video? Or what is one change you plan to make this week? For more in-depth content on strengthening your body after 60, be sure to check out our video on the top 3 exercises for building bone density. Thank you for watching, and here's to your health.